At the storage unit on a Saturday, we actually did not go yard sailing today because
there wasn't any yard sales.
There weren't no yard sales. We just got back from Tybee Island yard sales, and there was a ton of them. We come up here, and there was two yard sales. I was talking to some people. They actually say that back in the day, there was a ton of yard sales at this time, but now they just wait for their communities to have yard sales, which we don't really like because all the communities throw the yard sales on one weekend, and then you can't reach all the yard sales. They should talk to one of the communities. But anyway, enough about this and more about that. Reverse that. Uggs, almost brand new, size 7. Actually, I would say they're very close to brand new. I think we still put them down as used, but they sold for $45 plus shipping. We have some really good sales, and at the end of the video, I will tell you, because we were not having sales at all, right? It was pretty bad. And then we fixed our eBay store, and it's very simple how to do it. Very, very simple. But little bronze, vintage Tom Clark garden gnomes, the mini sculptures bronze, so for $15 plus shipping. We picked them up for $2 a piece. Then this is out of the big golf club haul that we had down on Tybee Island. $32 for a Wedgwood silver. That is a 9-iron on the IR series, if that means anything to anyone. $35 for Johnny O shirt. We picked up a ton of these Johnny O shirts at a yard sale last year, and we're still selling them. And the thing is, we should have bought that entire yard sale. That was another one that we should have bought. She had brand new Puma stuff, and now that we have the ability to sell on Whatnot, that stuff would have been really, really good for summer clothing for men. $21 for a brand new pair of Dexters. Then at the house, we have a vintage pen reel. It's just the box, and I sold the box, an extra spool, a wrench, and the instructions and a clamp for that reel all together for $15 plus shipping. This was actually a surprise. I think you picked this up, didn't you? Veer Bradley sling bag. Hope Blooms sold for $45 plus shipping fairly quickly. This sold right here. It's a side mirror for a 2007-2014 Chevy Silverado. $39.99. Heading overseas to this international sale. A Starrett, however you want to say, $25 plus shipping. This is a thickness gauge in pretty good condition. I actually had to clean these up a good bit with some, the original grease was on them, like the stuff that, the packing grease, and it kind of tarnished it, so I had to use some tarnish remover to get that done. The most surprising sale is this 1976 Mack fire truck R model triple combination pumper blueprint. You know what that means? So for $40, $39.99. And you know what the crazy thing is? I got a truckload of these. We found these in like a storage unit or auction. I didn't know what to do with them, so I only listed one, and just to see what happened. And it's, I ain't got no lights. I can't read my blueprints. And it's just like how I guess they built the trucks back in the 70s, and it has the specs on them and stuff like that. And so it's pretty neat. There's nothing on eBay that was remotely close to this. Like not, and I guess they're not originals. I guess they would be copies of it. But I put it on there, did the best I could to describe what it was. I had nothing to go on. So I listed it for 40 bucks and it sold for 40 bucks, which makes me now want to go home, and I probably have maybe 100 more sets. I have a stack full, and I just didn't know what to do with them. So now I know they sell for 40 bucks. What's 40 times 100?
Oh, a lot.
What was that, $4,000? $4,000 in paper? That's pretty cool. Moving on.
Paper for paper.
Paper for paper. All the same. $19 for the 108th U.S. Open Gold towel. That's pretty good, actually, for those towels. I think I got that for $2. Thomas Kincaid Hawthorne Village House is the teacup house, tea lamp, lamp tea room. $19.99. This, do you remember where we picked this up? This just sold for $25.65. I specifically remember where I bought this. The 127
okay, I was
at
just
that
about
lady's
to say.
house, where she had all the tools. It only took about a year and a half to sell, but it finally sold for $25 plus shipping. And then one more sale is a Callaway X24 pitching wedge, so for 40 bucks plus shipping. That is also out of the Tybee Island Golf Club haul. And we actually had some more sales. I don't know if my phone is going to have enough minutes to handle it. We had a Bose sell instantaneously. That was the one we picked up on our last video or 2 videos ago in the Bearded Thrift Machine. It was for $7.99. It looked really, really rough. I cleaned it for about 10 minutes. Everything worked on it. It was the Wave Radio CD player. They go for a lot more, but it did not have a remote, and it sold for 110 bucks plus shipping within like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I listed it, sold. I didn't undersell it. That's what they went for. Then we had another sale almost instantaneously. Were United States Oakley, so Oakley made in USA. We have said that. Jawbone frames. The lenses were no good because they were prescription, so I said frames only. Sold instantaneously for 60 bucks.
Yeah.
Like, so look for the Oakley USA Jawbone. It has like a weird like lip at the bottom. It's really an interesting pair of sunglasses. The thing is, it looks not that good. You wouldn't think they cost. I mean, if you get a good pair with good lenses that people can use, they're over 200 bucks. With just the frames, and they had to put their own lenses in it. We sold it for 60. It wasn't undersold. That was what the comps were at, and it sold instantaneously. So that brings me up to, how do you really fix your eBay store, right? If like things aren't selling, you're getting discouraged, how do you think you fix it?
You find good stuff to list and you list it.
That's 100% correct.
Stuff that sells.
Yeah, it's
has a good sell-through rate.
Yeah, it's not that like it's difficult to find the stuff that has a good sell-through rate, and I think it's even more difficult to stay away from the stuff that doesn't.
Yes.
Because we know, we're like, well, we know eventually, you know, this will sell for 25 bucks. Not a good item, to be honest with you. We bought it for probably $1, and we housed it in that container for about 1.5 years. So how much rent do you owe? You probably owe $25 in rent. So I probably broke even on you, right? Yes, they broke even on me. See, not good, right? So, and then something like these.
We should probably keep that. That thing talks.
That thing talks. Actually, I should have definitely more money. But these are good items, right? Good clubs that people are looking for. We picked them up for $5 a piece, sold for $40, sold for $32, and they sold within a week. Now, that's the hard part about eBay and reselling, and I think it's the hardest part, and I always say that, but it's finding good items that has a good sell-through rate that will, you can list it and they sell within a month or two for a decent takeaway profit. I also think the hardest part, another hard part, is staying away from the stuff that doesn't.
Yeah.
It's because when you're out there, you see stuff and you know, like I know that new wave behind you will sell eventually for 20 bucks. The thing is that it owes me rent. It's been there for a really long time.
What about the hairdresser behind, or the hairdryer behind you?
Hairdryer behind you, that's been there
What
for a
is
while.
that?
What is that? But that's the thing is, I think the hardest thing is to stay away from the things that won't sell, because I think, because we've proven it this week, because we were on time and Waymo, but we had some really good high sell-through rate items stacked up, and we didn't list a whole bunch. Not that we came home and listed 60 or 80 items, we listed 20 a day. And I think some of those we listed 15 a day, but they were high sell-through rate items, and what was happening was they were selling, but also eBay was pushing our store out, I believe, and all of some of the older stuff was selling because we had, you know, eBay was noticing we were listing better stuff. People were coming to the store, they were pushing our store out, and then it sold more. That's just my onion. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that that's the easiest way to fix your store is maybe even take out your bad stuff. Take out stuff that hasn't sold. Get it out of there, because we do that a lot now too. If it hasn't sold in a while, we either donate it or throw it away.
Yeah.
And then we just replace it with better items. And we're trying to get our sell-through, our sell-through rate obviously higher, but also the price per sale. So if you looked on here, we didn't say anything was like $5, $7. And what we're trying to do is at least get it up to 15 to 20 and live in that like 15 to 40 range, because you don't have to sell a lot of 15 to 40s to make a lot of money if you're having a really good profit on those. So what we're going to do is actually pull things to list. We still have that scenario, that system going, and then pack this up, ship it up. At the storage unit after a good Sunday church, wasn't it? It was very good. You were in the choir?
Yeah.
You sing in the choir? I'm the sound man. But we're going to go over some sales. Tiffany, thank you so much. You bought this really cool mountain shirt. The mountain shirt, that's the name of the company. It's got some wolves on it and a little heart, so we much appreciate it. Then we have this bowl that's sold. Who remembers the bowl? I mean, we just picked this up not too long ago. Primitive American oval antique vintage natural finish bowl. That's what you put it as, and sold for $73.10. And somebody on our Facebook, that was, and plus shipping, and shipping is like $22. So they're like $100 in on this bowl. Somebody on our Facebook said that they didn't know these bowls still sell, and they have a whole bunch and they haven't listed them. But if you go online and use the right keywords, you will see these things sell a lot. Some of them sell for way more than 73 bucks. I don't know how we brought up that it was $73. Maybe we just looked at the shape, right? And like maybe like what else it looked like. But 73 bucks, we got it for what, 4 bucks I think at the Goodwill. Now we're on the lookout for some wooden bowls. Duluth pants, $30 plus shipping. These are the Flex Dry, so they're not the heavy. They're actually the super light ones. We did just sell a Pen Z04Z, just the spool for it. And what happened was we went to a garage sale, bought a whole bunch of fishing reels. This one was broken, the bail was broken on it, so I just took it apart and basically I'm going to make 70 bucks in parts rather than selling it. If it was even working, you would get maybe 50 bucks for it. And so if you took it all apart, like I took everything apart, it didn't take that long to take these reels apart and you make an extra 20 bucks, which ain't bad. A US Kids Golf, these were good, like, and they're still good, but they're not selling as fast as they used to. Actually, I think that's for all golf clubs. US Kids Ultralight 5 Fairway Wood sold for $19.99. Then this one just sold. This was out of the Tybee Island haul. This is a TaylorMade RSI 2 3-iron. Sold for $65 plus shipping. Isn't that nice? So we only paid $5 for that. So that ain't too bad. That is going to be the end. We actually have had super slow sales for the last 2 days, but we're not going to let it make us sad. We're going to go ahead and keep listing, being consistent, which is important, and also wrap this stuff up and ship it out.
And thank you everybody who came out to the Whatnot show.
Yes.
For the jewelry.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
We're going to go and pack up those orders.
Yes, we are. At the storage, we've got some really good sales. $33 for a pair of Kohans. That ain't too shabby for a pair of shoes. Usually the Grand O's sell pretty good. These are penny loafers, size 10, $33. One that sold right away was the Olympus Stylus Zoom 140 Deluxe point and shoot camera, 35mm, 80 bucks plus shipping. If you remember, we picked it up for $40 down in Beaufort, listed it, sold within like what, 30 minutes to an hour. They usually sell super fast if we've priced them right. We made like $30 in profit. I find that pretty good for probably 5 minutes worth of work. Unless you take into consideration driving to Beaufort and back, then it would be like 8 hours of work. So we probably made like $1 an hour. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, Jeff, we appreciate it. You bought him. I'm not touching him because he talks. And once he talks, it's hard to make him stop talking. So
whoever is gonna ship this or is transporting the box is gonna have
a fun
little
time.
scare.
Another dial caliber indicator with the extra points sold for $95 plus shipping. This one was brand new. It still had the little thing in the back that hasn't been removed. So 95 bucks ain't bad because we are well in the profit on that buy. And then also the vintage Old Pal Tray Fishing tackle box. We picked it up for $26. I took some stuff out that we wanted that we're going to use this year for fishing, put some stuff in that we're not going to use for fishing this year, and then I sold it as a loaded tackle box. We've done this also again with the Plano tackle box with all the offshore fishing stuff. We got $100 plus shipping for that tackle box, and then for this tackle box we got $38 plus shipping. So that ain't too bad. What we're going to do is pack this stuff up, ship it out.